I have recordings of them confessing that, the other guys that they have on the payroll, all of the above. And the difference is, the wonderful thing about confidentiality agreements and non-disclosure agreements is that they can't prevent you from turning all of those things over to the police.
Girl, didn't I tell you that Cassie really opened the floodgates with that lawsuit? And now the men victims of Hollywood predators are finally coming forward and exposing these creeps. And the latest to speak out is Madea star Christian Keys, who just stepped up to reveal some heavy stuff about two powerful billionaire men who harassed him for years and allegedly tried to SA him. And y'all, word on the street is that one of these men is Tyler Perry. So Christian dropped a video that's shaking things up, talking about how not just one, but two big shots in the industry harassed him. And according to Christian, one of these dudes even tried to hop into bed with him and offered him $100,000 just to strip down. Christian mentioned how Cassie's courage inspired him to tell his own story. And before you accuse him of jumping on the bandwagon, Christian made it clear this is not about cash, and he wants to take the receipts to the police. Oh yeah, honey, he's got the receipts and the recordings, everything to back up what he's saying.
Has reminded me about not just me, because it was brutal going through it, because it lasted for years.
But do we know for sure who the men are Christian is calling out? Well, he's not outright saying it, but he dropped some clues that got folks thinking he's talking about Tyler Perry and billionaire Robert F. Smith. And then some people are speculating that Diddy might have been involved too, because Christian is just his type. The whole story is crazy, so let's just dive in and unpack this.
It's not just women that have to deal with it, but it's also men sometimes. And it'll be men tempting men. Once the harassment started, I was like, well, I gotta protect me, because I'm saying no, and I don't want this person, as powerful as they are, to try to get in the way of my work. So I started recording. So I have them offering me money to take my clothes off.
So to give you some background first, Christian Keys is an actor and model who started his career as a guest star on different TV shows before landing a recurring role on the BET comedy series Let's Stay Together. Christian also appeared in several music videos like Carrie Hilson's Energy, Ashanti's The Way That I Love You, and Suitcase by Mary J. Blige. But the first big screen move for Christian was in Tyler Perry's Diary of a Mad Black Woman back in 2005. And after, he worked with Tyler on several other projects like Madea Goes to Jail, What's Done in the Dark, and All the Queen's Men, also an appropriate title. And this history with Tyler Perry is the main reason why fans are now speculating that Christian was talking about Tyler in his recent Instagram live session, where he revealed he's been dealing with harassment from two powerful billionaires for years. Christian said these men are considered heroes in the community, and yet one of these men kept trying to get him to do sketchy things like strip down for cash. But Christian made it crystal clear he didn't fall for that mess, and he's swearing up and down that he's got the receipts to prove what he's saying, because he secretly recorded all these indecent proposals.
I've kept one of these on me since '05. Whether it's a keychain recorder or a pen, because most predators would check your phone. And once the harassment started, I was like, well, I gotta protect me, because I'm saying no, and I don't want this person, as powerful as they are, to try to get in the way of my work. So I started recording. So I have them offering me money to take my clothes off. I have recordings when I wasn't working with them or for them. I have recordings of them confessing that, the other guys that they have on the payroll, all of the above. And the difference is, the wonderful thing about confidentiality agreements and non-disclosure agreements is that they can't prevent you from turning all of those things over to the police, because is a crime, attempted assault is a felony.
And Christian is not playing around. He's talking lawyers, police, the whole nine, to put these alleged predators on blast.
I'm literally strategically planning my next 8 moves. I'm good. God got me, because he was watching when I was offered these opportunities and I didn't say yes. I didn't sell my soul or my, excuse my French, y'all. I know some of y'all, hopefully y'all have no kids around, but I didn't sell nothing for success. It's like, nah, that's not what I want.
Christian claims that these men just wouldn't take no for an answer, and they kept going at him for years, showing up at his place, inviting him over to theirs, and no matter how many times he told them he doesn't get down like that, they kept pushing it. But here's the twist. Christian said that he let the statute of limitations expire on purpose, and he's swearing he's not interested in suing these men for money. Instead, he said he already made plans with his lawyers and wants to submit all the recordings directly to the police.
Statute of limitations expire. It's not about money, but I'm gonna have to take the receipts, the recordings down to the police department and let them hear this individual. I wasn't working for him in the month and the year that he showed up to my apartment and offered me $100 grand to take my clothes off. He said, I don't even need to touch you. I just want to see you naked. I declined because, again, scenic route. I got my integrity with me. I'll take the long way around. But being that I wasn't working with him and we were in my apartment, he had visited my apartment to offer me a job of this fall because the lead of this particular project was going to do something else, so he needed another lead. I recorded it because I didn't trust him, and I had told him over and over, and he still always tried shit. Just tried shit. So if people don't believe me, they can hear him in his voice. I have always kept.
And you already know that social media went wild after Christian's live blew up, trying to piece this puzzle together. Now, of course, Diddy's name was on everyone's mind, considering everything that's been going on for the past few weeks and all that we've heard about Diddy. But it looks like most people now think that the two men who allegedly harassed Christian are Tyler Perry and billionaire Robert F. Smith, the founder, CEO, and chairman of Vista investment firm. And people have their reasons for naming these two. So at one point during his live, Christian said something along the lines of, nah, I didn't see that documentary. And folks think he might be referencing Tyler Perry's bio documentary, Maxine's Baby, the Tyler Perry story, which came out last month. As for the other alleged predator, Robert F. Smith, Christian spilled that after a meeting with a big shot investor to try and get him to invest in his company, things took a wild turn. And allegedly, this investor invited him to a whole different conference space that ended up being a private suite. And get this dude supposedly switched into something more comfortable, i.e. silky pajamas and a robe, and offered Christian champagne and some strawberries. Y'all, this man was ready. Now, Christian threw a major hint in his live saying that this same man is now, quote, paying tuition for HBCU classes, end quote.
I'm sure. He's like, are you sure? That second, are you sure, means if you don't stay and do what I want, you're not going to get what you're hoping for. Now, this particular guy is out here paying tuition for entire classes of HBCUs after this sketchy want to air him out too. I'm just tired of carrying it with me. I'm tired.
And people on social media, they're connecting the dots and thinking it might just be Robert F. Smith, because last year, Smith announced a massive $1.8 million program for HBCU students. By the way, Robert F. Smith is allegedly close to Diddy, and Diddy has publicly praised him on more than one occasion in the past. Back in 2019, when Smith announced he would pay off Morehouse class of 2019 student loans, Diddy shared a since-deleted post saying, "This is beautiful, inspiring, moving, and motivational. This is what is possible. This is how we naturally are as a people. We are a tribe. We are supposed to take care of each other." Diddy, shut up. Anyway, now let me be clear. All this is speculation at this point. So we'll just have to wait and see what will happen when Christian takes those recordings to the police. In the meantime, people are saying it's time for a Him Too movement in Hollywood, because there's still a stigma around men who've been through SA. And it's so messed up because it's usually other men cracking gay jokes and making light of their experience. Just think about how everyone clowned those men Diddy was trying to take shopping and calling them daddy in front of everyone. And look, I'm not saying all those men were Diddy's victims, but we really have to face the fact that things like this happen to men too, especially in Hollywood, because we know the industry is full of creeps. I mean, didn't Corey Feldman try to tell us something about this years ago?
And it's widespread?
Oh yeah. I was surrounded by them when I was 14 years old. Surrounded. Literally. Didn't even know it. It wasn't until I was old enough to realize what they were and what they wanted and what they were about and the types of people that were surrounding me, till I went, oh my God, they were everywhere like vultures.
Anyway, Christian Keys is getting a whole heap of love from his fans, and even folks in the industry are finally stepping up and saying they have his back. Jason Lee tweeted, "I know who Christian Keys is talking about, and baby, this is going to rock the industry. Networks, icons, Black Hollywood, it's a wrap if he speaks out, and he should. Christian Keys has never been messy, so don't question his motives." The former Real Housewives of Atlanta star Claudia Jordan also shared a message of support for Christian on her IG stories, claiming Christian told her about this years ago. Well, how come he didn't tell me? She wrote, "He told me some of this 15 years ago verbatim and said one day he was going to come forward. I know it's scary and I commend him for his bravery." Now, as far as fans, most of them are praising Christian for speaking out, because it takes a lot of guts to go public with something like this, especially when you're alleged is a powerful billionaire. But sadly, there are still some men who are mocking him and claiming men can't be victims of harassment. Someone ignorant on X wrote, "As a grown man, how do you let somebody SA you? Another man at that. Then stay silent or don't do nothing about it." I'm sorry, I don't get it. Listen, this take is not it. And women or man, we need to support the victim, because it's already hard enough to stand up against someone who is very powerful, who can easily affect your bread, your name, and your way of living. The reason these powerful people do these things is because if the victims come out, they think nobody will believe them or that they can make it go away. So if you're mocking the victims for speaking out, you are part of the problem. Period. But anyway, y'all, let me know in the comments how you feel about this whole situation. Who do you think are the men Christian is talking about? Comment down below and don't miss out on this next video.